All right. All right. Yeah, we're live. Agentic learning experiences. That's what we're doing today. That's what we're doing today. Um, join us. So join me. Yes. So what are we doing? So what we're doing is, again, let's take a step back. Let's go to Open Lesson Academy, and we have this interface here. And I can go and I can take a look at my sessions, at my learning plans, and I can I can jump into this one or this one. How to build a training bot, for example, and I can just deep dive into pump fun. And so I have here these, and I can start the lesson, and I'll start the lesson. I'll say auto advance off, browser inference no. And so this prepares a session for me, and now I'm in the new integrated learning experience. I'm working on a tutorial for this, so that's going to be it's gonna be a smoother onboarding for the first time. Um, and yeah, so I'm basically here, and we have the system, we have the guiding tasks, we have everything. I can't touch anything. I know it just basically I know I need to actually press play. I can use a few of the tools. No, I can't use the tools. I can use data input. I can set up things like the muse face screen recording and stuff like these. We'll probably remove locks. Can go to mobile. I have this is basically my learning environment. I can collapse these things, and probably the way this will start is like you will start with just this mode, and it's going to be like a clean interface anyway. But that's not the point. The point is we have here now the learning tool, and I can start I can start learning. I'm not too happy with this yet, but anyway, so I'm not happy with the starting experience. There should be a warm-up to a session, skippable for sure, because I'm like, yeah, okay, it's too small to read, maybe like right away, you know what I mean, like it's but fine. So if Pampan's funding curve fairly distributes tokens via buys, why do early participants still capture most of the upside? So I mean, I should, oh come on, don't tell me there's a bug. Wait a second, do I have to, I'll fix it, don't worry guys. So anyway, was not the point of, it's not pointless of the session, but let me just make sure that actually works. The whole point is I'm not too happy with this learning experience, right? So but it's fine. There's two ways you experience the system. One way is this way, another way is the agentic one way is the agentic experience. And what's the agentic experience is essentially different. It's like you don't need to kind of log in here, right? Maybe I broke something. There's something wrong with the server because the play button doesn't work. All right, no problem. We'll do that. Anyway, so you might not like that experience, or this might be sometimes too cumbersome to just like use for certain things, right? It's a very, it will actually be optimized and whatnot, and it works a lot, and it works well when you're doing things like the PCB design and stuff like these paths like this. You can definitely learn with these integrated learning experiences. This is the harness, this is the whole heartbeat of the system, right, of open lesson. But you might not want to have these. You might want to just rely on an agentic experience on your agent, right? So and that's where things kind of get interesting, right? So let's say you and this is what we did with the design of the plugin for Hermes. So let's say that I open Hermes, and I'm essentially telling Hermes, hey, I want to learn about building a trading bot on PanFun. Now this is running my local model. I don't have it. Same happened like last time. Because I actually just closed it. I need to keep that running, otherwise it actually doesn't run the server because I'm using a local LM. But I'll switch to Minimax, not Minimax. I'll switch to the Kimi or whatever they want. Hermes wants for the hackathon. That's all good. So now I have Gemma here loaded, and okay, that's loaded, but with the stupid context. So we wanna run me later. We want to load the model with a big context window, and that's now done. All right. So now I can actually go and talk to it. Cool. It's actually it's as you can see, it's using OpenLesson, right? It already knows it's so good at, like, it already knows that it has these, like, for learning, it knows what it needs to do. Now this takes takes a while because the model is very slow because it's a local model. Let's see what it does. So here's yeah. Interesting, actually. Has it actually used OpenLesson? Is this what actually came back from it? Can you please build me a learning plan using OpenLesson? So, oh, might be, no, it's actually using, this is the experience that we have to optimize, right? Create me a new one. Oh, really? Let's see. Did it hallucinate these? Did it actually hallucinate these? This would be interesting. And it's not a session, it's really 30-day functionality bot mastery. Okay, so it actually has created now this one. Go to plans, yes. Today's, yeah, that's this one. If I open any plan and I open this one, does this actually exist? Oh yeah, that actually existed. Actually, it used the tools to find another plan that I had. Perfect. Okay, that's actually cool. Anyway, but you can see, so it's a completely different beast. It's a completely different world. We need to create. We're trying to create a learning experience, and this is what we want to do as well with as part of the Hermes Hackathon. Basically, how to engineer a learning experience that is a multi-day learning experience. You know, it's something that is more than just like, it's a true, it's a an experience where you're really truly learning something at the end of these. So you're actually doing hard work, and you know, it might be that Hermes sends you out to do an assignment and to do things. So we need to that's what I want to brainstorm today, right? um I think that basic, I gave you the basic set of tools, right? So what tools does Open Lesson offer? I don't know if it's gonna list them. So planning and discovery, create plan, list plans, learning interaction, start session, resume session, ask, open lesson, analyze, prepare and answer, analysis, response depth, identifies knowledge gaps, management review, get session plan, get session analytics, pause session, resume session. Yeah, exactly. Session, your next logic is to engage with the curriculum. Shall we start with the first note? Yes, go ahead. Now I don't know how is it gonna do this. Is it gonna just start the session? Okay, so to get a start on the journey to the boss, let's tackle a corpus 0 point right away. If confidence boiling curve, and this is the yes, take time to think through the process difference. So take your time to think through the process, the difference between a price mechanism, the curve, and an eventual reaction. What are your thoughts? So in here's where now the current learning experience kind of breaks, right? Because what we want to do is we want to end up with an experience that is really guided, right? That the agent tells you what to do. In terms of kind of it sends you out to do like an exercise and stuff like this, right? But it should still follow what Open Lesson tells it to do. But I think, I mean, what it is that how do we want to design this? How do we want to design an agentic learning experience? First of all, I think the agent I think what we should do, I think the agent should be able to, and we can maybe make two tables. We can maybe make a, let me zoom this in. I think we can make a table of what is Open Lesson's scope and what is the agent scope. So the agent should be able to, the agent knows you and knows your schedule. The agent should be able to plan sessions across time. Now, here's where this is an interesting aspect of like designing an experience like this, because it's a completely different paradigm, right? You're not building an app, you're not building, so is the, how do we know this agent has access to your calendar? Do we know this agent has a memory? Do we know this agent, you know what I mean? Like we have to, I think what we have to do is basically essentially instructions on best practices and tool recs for session planning across time. So, and I think this should include definitely calendar tools. No, we're not building these, right? So we are telling the agent, hey, maybe you should just go grab something, right? Calendar tools, memory. You definitely like want some long-term memory. And you definitely want rich media capabilities, because you want to have, I think it's important that what does our harness dictate? Our harness dictates our principles. Dictates that sessions should be as much sync as possible. The agent should be able to monitor what you're doing and pass it over to OpenLesson. This is key, right? We want this because that's the whole point of these. The whole point of these is having, and I'm so much seeing that this is actually the bridge to Open Companion, by the way. It's agentic tutoring. Yeah, or basically agentic co-working in a way. But we want, and as I said, the the basic set of features actually already works, the tools and whatnot. So if I go to OpenLesson, whatever is here in the API, this plugin works so well. I'm so happy with this. But these endpoints seem to work well. I'm working on the cryptographic proofs at the moment, but this works well. We just have to design that experience in terms of what it is that the skill actually tells the agent to do, right? So we definitely want to make sure that the agent is ready, right? That it can plan, it has calendar tools, long-term memory, and rich media capabilities. We also want like cron capabilities. I mean, that's maybe a nice to have. I think these are a must, because if you don't have these, how's it gonna even know what you can do stuff, So these are, and then nice to have are things like cron job capabilities, always on type of agent, right? We definitely don't want an agent that is too much dormant. So the thing is, webhooks. Yeah. And trigger Hermes agent runs automatically. That's yeah. Exactly. That's what we want. Webhooks. We definitely want webhooks. Because essentially, and this is actually very interesting. Like it's gonna be it's the way that you think about this stuff, right? When you design a system, is like you have to think about where's the line that you're drawing in terms of what's in scope and what's out of scope, but you want to provide the best experience for everyone, and not everyone's gonna have the same kind of agent setup. So the alternative would be that we offer some kind of webhook layer. What I mean is that we can use webhooks, right? That we can send messages to the agent proactively. It's so funny because like this might be so much like the actual future might just be agentic tutoring, and calendar tools, long-term memory, rich media capabilities. Nice to have cron job capabilities, always on type of agent. But okay, yeah, it needs to be able to plan sessions across time, for sure. It needs to be able to I wouldn't say monitor. I mean, monitor is part of the baseline. It should be more like it should be able to expose. Should be able to expose the tools you might need. I'm even thinking whether, whether we should not instruct around building a learning, like a recurring learning environment. Or even maybe a minimal ILE or process. So the idea here, I just wonder whether it just needs to be able to expose the tools you might need, right? So at least, no, that's not it. That's not it, because it's not about tools, but it's about the fact that it should be able to integrate the teaching assistant, like these things, right? So these things inside the session, the different tools, it should actually be able to expose the tools. Yes, it should be able. Yeah, expose the tools we offer, because we do have practice tools, theory tools. We do have the TA, the teaching assistant, and then we have the canvas and the note taker, the notebook, right? Canvas and notebook are probably some things that you're not really going to need to expose. So I think these two might not really be things that we want to actually expose. But it should know, it's like, oh, do you want to read something a bit about these? Do you want to, let's look at the theory tools. Let's look at practice tools, right? So, and it should actually use these tools. And the teaching assistant, that's for sure. Show the plan session across time, expose the tools that we offer. It should be able to monitor a session, right? Actively monitor a session. So you will have eventually, I think you will have eventually a situation where the agent's telling you, cool, now you know what, let's go and try to do this. Let's go and try to build these. But we want to capture the information, right? We want to capture the data. We still want to capture the data. So we don't want the agent to send you off to do something on your own. We want the agent to almost harass you into taking it with you. That's important, right? Because that's one of the things that we gain by you using the ILE is that you actually can share your screen, the Muse device. You can, like, everything that you're doing on your computer is being observed, is being monitored, and so I think the agent should be able to actually do that as well. Let thing talk. What's the TTS? Yeah. Okay. But I don't know how much you would so actively monitor. So it should be able to follow you around, to plan a session the first time, expose the tools we offer, and basically follow you around, right? So I'm almost thinking whether we shouldn't offer something that has, yeah, the agent kind of has computer you. Most agents are able to manage the computer you're on, but you're not always going to be in the computer, and there are sometimes will just, but the agent has to be able to take you to that environment. I think that's important. You follow you around slash guide you to the right uh, environment slash, yeah, context. What I mean is, let's be honest, you're learning shit on the underground, staring at your phone. So the agent should not let you do that. And I think this is where I think it should not let you do that. It should actually make you speak out loud, think out loud. If appropriate, it should basically take you back to your workstation. In a way, I'm exaggerating a lot, I know, but it's like the whole point is depends on what you're learning. But it should be able to take you where you need to be, right? But I think actually this goes here basically. Cool. I think I'm gonna have to drop it here because it's a little late, guys. And I'll continue brainstorming and I'll be sharing some updates on X, okay? See you around tomorrow. I'm just that designing that experience is important. I just want you to be part of the journey as well, right? So it's kind of like, that's why I'm doing these streams as well, so you see how the process looks like, because it's an important design concept that we have to build here. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow.